What's going on, everybody? It's Coach Dave Radnecki with Aesthetics Training and Nutrition, here to talk to you guys about some more warming up techniques and cooling down techniques. But we're going to talk about foam rolling, what it is, what it's really doing, some different techniques. I'm actually going to get on the floor and show you guys. So we're going to use a lacrosse ball, foam roller, or PVC pipe if you have it. So if you have your foam roller, grab it, hop down on the floor with me, and let's get started. What's going on, everybody? So we're down here on the floors. It's a little bit easier for me to show you the different techniques with the foam roller that we're going to be doing. So what I'm basically going to start off the video with is just a quick background about what foam rolling really is doing, why it's beneficial, when you should do it, and so on and so forth. And then we'll get into just a couple different muscles and show you how to foam roll, the techniques that I use, what have worked for me in the past, and that can help you when you are foam rolling yourself. So foam rolling, basically term self myofascial release, basically a fancy term for self massage. So there are a couple different tools that you can use. One will be a lacrosse ball, the other would be a foam roller. I opt to use a PVC pipe. One for basically it's cheaper. This is about $5 to $6, and then the mesh webbing around it, which is basically just the placemat that you would buy at the store to keep your plates from sliding across the table, was maybe $1 or $2. But a foam roller in like Walmart or Target is maybe 35 or 50 or 40 bucks. It's pretty ridiculous at how much that they can be priced, and I've seen them upwards of $80 to $90 for something that you might have to replace. A lacrosse ball is $2 to $3, and you can use a tennis ball too. But the main reason why I like these, not just for the price, but because they are firmer, they are harder, and can get deeper into the muscle itself. So you've seen me use a lacrosse ball in a couple other videos talking about posture, anterior pelvic tilt, and upper cross syndrome. A lot of the foam rolling techniques that I'm going to show you can help with that as well, and were described in a couple other videos. But what foam rolling really is doing, and I like to use a lot of analogies if anybody that knows me or talks to me or interacts with me on social media, reads my posts or my articles. If you think of your muscle as a steak, okay, and you wrap that steak in saran wrap. So our muscle has a connective tissue covering around it called fascia. The saran wrap is going to be that fascia, okay? So when you tie it extremely tight, you prevent movement from the muscle. You can't move that steak anymore. And what you're doing is you're not allowing blood flow or nutrient supply to get to that muscle and where it needs to go. So if you're driving X amount of hours a day, sitting at your desk X amount of hours a day, drive to the gym, don't warm up, don't get on the treadmill, don't get on the Stairmaster, don't foam roll, things like that, then when you go to get into your workout, your range of motion is going to be shot right from the start. Mainly because your body's not ready for that quite yet, mentally, physically, but your muscles aren't able to move in the way that you want them to move or in the proper range of motion. You may have done that or may have been doing that for so long that your body just adapted to that, and your range of motion is terrible, and you develop injury from that, and then you adapt to that, and pretty soon you might be on the brink of developing an injury, faulty movement patterns, so on and so forth. So we want to prevent that as much as possible going forward. So you may feel these knots, or really, really hard spots within your muscle. A lot of people have tension spots up in their neck. I know I do, and around my shoulder blades. A lot of them can be felt in your legs as well. So those knots are really just bundled up muscle fibers that lack that have a poor blood supply or poor nutrient supply due to this adhesion. So if you think of the upper cross syndrome, so as I'm sitting right now, my shoulders are rounded, my upper back is being pulled forward, and all this musculature back here is getting shortened or constricted from the tissues that are over top of it. Now, if I stood or if I sat up a little bit straighter, all that tension really goes away, and I would prevent myself from developing adhesions. But unfortunately, I am human, and I do have some postural imbalances that I do work through as well, and I've been able to improve them over the years of doing consistent foam rolling and stretching. So we're working with the different sensory receptors within the muscle when we are doing our foam rolling. So what I'm going to show you with here, the demonstration, I'm going to start with the glutes, okay? This is what I generally will start with when I do foam roll. So if you grab your foam roller, you're basically just going to sit on this thing, okay? So you're going to get it right under your butt. All right, so the ball or the hard spot that you're going to feel right about there is basically the bottom of your pelvis, okay, or your ischium. And so you're going to roll back and forth until you find one of those adhesions, one of those real hard spots. You may roll over it; it's painful. What you really want to do is you just want to hold it on that spot for about 20 to 30 seconds, okay, and then you're going to move on to another spot. So you're working with a sensory receptor called your Golgi tendon organ, or GTO, and those respond more to tension and pressure. Your other one is your muscle spindle, which responds more to stretch, which is a phase after foam rolling that we'll save for another video. So your GTO, and what you want to do is you're creating pressure within that, and you're basically telling it to say, hey, we have an increase of pressure, maybe we should relax a little bit, and you want that organ to relax on its own. And over time, you should feel it actually relax, and it should get looser. But I guarantee you what you'll find after foam rolling is you do have an increased range of motion, because what this is doing is it's creating friction with the connective tissue underneath your skin, and you're raising that fascia away from the muscle, stimulating more movement into the muscle underneath, and allowing more blood flow and circulation and nutrient supply to it, okay? So with the glutes here, they're just going to roll back and forth, all right? So this one's pretty simple, okay? Get all the way up into the top of the glute there, okay? You can roll onto the side, get your TFL. Now your TFL is a tendon that runs basically from, your TFL spans into your IT band, okay? So your TFL is up here at the hip and the IT band. A lot of people foam roll this IT band thinking that it's going to be doing a lot of good. You can return that back to its original length because it's only a tendon, it's not a muscle, so it can't lengthen and shorten like a muscle really would. But when it's extremely stretched out is when it causes a lot of that pain. So if you get in up at the muscle, you're going to be a lot better off in maintaining the health of that IT band, reducing things like runner's knee or ITBS or iliotibial band syndrome, and causing a lot of that anterior knee pain, okay? So the TFL here up at the hip, what I like to do is just kind of bring my leg forward like this and get the one leg back behind, and then just rest my pelvis, side of my pelvis on that, and I'm using my body to hold myself up so it's not severely driving into my side, okay? And then you're just going to roll back and forth right on that area, kind of go back and forth. This would be a good instance to where the lacrosse ball would be good. Use this on the ground or peg this up against the wall and wedge yourself between the ball and the wall and get that TFL there. Now when it comes to the hip flexors, this is one that I had a particular question on. So with this one, you're basically going to have to straddle the foam roller, okay? So you're going to get one leg on each side, just like this. Stay in focus here for you guys. And you're just going to lay. Now I have my knee bent here at a nice 90-degree angle, okay? And I'm trying to get up in here at my adductors. Now if you're a guy, please be especially careful with this one. If you're a female, you don't have to worry about that. But this is a very tender area for a lot of people. And I'm just going up the whole inside of my quad and my hip flexor, okay? So all the way down to my knee and then all the way back up. So the adductor, in my experiences with working with people, is a very tender area, very tense area. There's a lot of tightnesses and sorenesses up in the hip flexors due to our posture, okay? So a lot of us will sit a lot throughout the day, and this is going to affect our posture. It's going to shorten all this musculature in here. And it's a main reason why a lot of people tend to fall forward. It's why their knees come forward whenever they do squat. So if we can loosen up the hip flexors via foam rolling, then we're going to have a lot better opportunity to improve our posture and improve our movement patterns. When it comes to the hamstrings, all right, all you're going to do here, in a side view, is you're going to prop it up underneath the hamstring, get up right up at the ischial tuberosity here, and what I like to do is use the other leg to press down on this leg, and I raise my front leg up, and I just roll back and forth on my hamstring. I may turn a little bit to hit different heads of my hamstring, and then the same would be for your calf as well. Get down here, the calf, come this way, and get the calf. Now, you can also use the lacrosse ball for that one as well. The lacrosse ball is very good for particular areas of the upper body when it comes to the upper chest, the upper back, and the neck. And you could get the lats a little bit too. Now, the lats is a different one, laying on your side, okay, with the foam roller here. And you basically be laying on your side just like this, rolling up and down to get that upper section of the lat. getting the mid back. All right. Now with the foam roller, you do want to be careful about the lower back. You don't just want to roll the lower back. It's a very tense area. It doesn't need a lot of pressure. You can develop injury from that if you do it chronically or if you don't know what you're doing properly. So with this, I do like to start in the mid back. Okay. Keep my core nice and tight. And I raise myself up off the ground slightly. I raise my butt off the ground. And I'm just going to roll slightly forward and then slightly back to get my erector spinae. And you may feel some pops, but the erector spinae are the muscles that line the spine. Okay? And they provide support for the spinal cord and the spinal column as well. So be very particularly careful when it comes to that area. What are some other areas? So the plantar fascia, so the bottom of the foot, get the ball right here on the bottom of the foot, and you would roll, find the adhesions in the bottom of the foot here, prevent plantar fasciitis, mainly up in the arch, okay, up in the arch, and then up here in the front part where the sole of the foot is, all right? So as you can see, there's a lot of different areas that you can foam roll. Now, as far as time, before and after, you're probably thinking, man, that's a lot of time that I got to foam roll. It really only takes 2 minutes to really see a soft tissue change, and that's all that's recommended. So 2 minutes of anything is really a clinical dose. So you don't really need to foam roll, a significant amount of time per area. Oh, one I did forget is your quads. So your quads, this one here, same thing. You're almost going to straddle this, but get it completely perpendicular with you. Get your quad on that, and you're just going to roll back and forth. Use the other leg as a support leg to come up like this, and then turn whichever which way to hit all those heads of your quad. All right. So as I was saying, sorry about deviating back and forth between that one, you guys. But 2 minutes of anything is a clinical dose. So you don't need to foam roll for hours and hours and hours or minutes and minutes. Save the longer, intense foam rolling sessions for your off days or your recovery days that you have preset. Mine are usually on Sundays. This is a deload week for me, so I'm going to be doing a lot more foam rolling this week. And then subsequent deload weeks, going forward. But warming up, foam rolling is a very, very important aspect of training that's very overlooked. Don't take recovery for granted. You need it. You can't just keep hammering yourself in the gym and expect to see the results that you want to see. So if you do have any questions when it comes to your own postural imbalances, or if you feel that you may have postural imbalances and you want myself to take a look at it, feel free to reach out to myself, atndave@gmail.com. Reach out to us on our contact page, atncoaching.com. Contact us, and we'll be more than happy to assess your posture, your form, and see what's really going on and see how we can help you from that further. Foam rolling, like I said, very, very important. Don't neglect it. Don't neglect your recovery. It's one of the most overlooked aspects of training. Give yourself time. Give yourself time to warm up properly, and I guarantee that you'll start to feel better, and you'll start to recover a lot better, and then your results will be a lot better too. So please like and subscribe to the video. Like our channel. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, at Dave Reinecke ATN on Instagram, and look forward to talking to you guys some more. Thanks.